Welcome back. It's the end of an era for this downtown fixture. You recognize this? That is the building that housed KVET and KASE for decades. It's coming down tomorrow for a brand new development. And joining us this morning, we're very lucky to have a familiar voice coming from that building all those years. Bob Cole, thanks for coming in early.
Robert, thanks for having me. It's good to get up early again.
There you go. Recognize that voice? All right. Boy, 20 years, KVET and KASE, and finally this building's coming down tomorrow. Let's talk about some of those memories maybe quickly that you remember from living literally inside that building.
You know, it was a place where what we like to say great radio was made, where we got to wake up a lot of folks and put them to bed at night for decades after decades after decades. I mean, I guess that building goes back, I came to Austin in '77, but, you know, probably goes back with KVET KASE in there 50, 60 years. Wow. Memories, off the top of my head, yeah, I always think first about, there was a big political debate here called SOS, for those who don't know, in the early 90s. Yeah. And it was Bridget Shea against a guy named Gary Bradley. And they hated each other, but they had never met until they came up one morning for a debate that Sammy and I had, and they met each other, and they hated each other, and they yelled at each other, particularly Gary. It was a very memorable morning, and it helped define part of what ended up happening ultimately with the victory for SOS. A lot of folks said had to do with that day. Lots of things. There was a guy that his tiger almost got shot by the police. Police said you can't have a tiger in the city of Austin. We were railing on a guy for having a tiger. Next thing we look up, security wasn't much in those days.
Oh, man.
Here's the tiger
of course.
And the guy making me hold it. I have a picture somewhere.
Man. And
morning after morning.
You know, you could probably talk to us all morning about that. And this guitar we should reference, people used to sign this when they came into the studio.
You know, it was great because over those years, Austin was probably a slightly more accessible town even then. And so many folks came by. On there is Garth Brooks, folks from every walk of life. Dan Rather, I remember, you know, strangely, our best guest ever was Maury Povich.
Is that right?
Oh, we were like, why are we putting Maury Povich on?
And he went on to infamous things, didn't he?
Well, he had the show at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was terrific, and probably every political leader, state, county, local level, Tammy Wynette, sports figures, Jerry Jones.
And now the building is coming down. Employees have a party this evening. And they're taking pieces of the building, tagging pieces of the building, graffiti, basically doing what they want because the whole thing's coming down. That sounds like a blast.
Yeah, it will be. We're expecting, according to our Facebook site that we put up, more than 100 former employees that worked in that building over, I don't know how many years. There's Clint Black right now with our old friend Dustin Drew. There are the Judds. All these pictures, I believe, taken in the studio. That was a woman that worked at night on KASE. She didn't have to talk a lot, so she did a lot of crossword puzzles. She tells us, hey, there's Tammy Wynette right there with Gary Harmon. An old fellow named Denny Stone, I think Kathy Mattea. Willie with Tony Luttrell. She was the best promotions director in the city over time. So there it is, the old KVET. And by the way, that KVET sign hangs in the studios now at Penn Field. So that much was saved some time ago.
I want to take a look at the future of this building really quickly in the time we've got left here. That is what the new development looks like. Commercial down below, parking garage up above. That's obviously going to help revitalize the area. You got the tavern just down the road there. It's probably going to help the whole area.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some buildings are iconic and some I don't think you ever want to see destroyed. The tavern you never want to see destroyed. I can understand this building going, you know, for something that's this useful, street-level retail. Folks can live upstairs. The only thing I would ask is that they name the building the KVET KASE building. Yeah. I don't own it, but they're not going to let me do that.
We'll see if there's some kind of marker you can put on there. Bob Cole, real pleasure for you to come in this morning and share a few memories with us.
Nice to meet you.
Outstanding.
Thank you,
you too.